Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to Cantell School, welcome to your school. We're here today to talk through the wider reopening of our school from the 15th of June to Year 10 students. Can I start off by thanking all of our community for engaging in the process of the wider reopening. That is the feedback that you've given on the letter that I sent last week, but also on the PowerPoint that Mr. Creswell sent, and also the risk assessment. Those are all version 1. There will be version 2 and version 3 coming out, and that's because we really do want to hear from the whole of our community with regards to the plans that we are putting into place. Can I start off by talking about some of the logistics with regards to the wider reopening? First and foremost, the decision to make a wider reopening from the 15th of June has been made because we have a lot more intelligence and information with regards to the rate of localized infections. We are linking up with the Director of Public Health for Southampton, and she is providing all of the secondary head teachers and indeed the primary head teachers with regular information on the trajectory of those infections. So whilst it is absolutely the right time now to start to get students back in for face-to-face contact, we will be continuing to monitor the situation and will inform you accordingly. From Monday the 15th of June, for the wider reopening, we would want students to come in non-school uniform, but sensible clothing. That is because the expectation is that when students come back home, that their clothing is bagged and then put into the wash straight away, and that they wear fresh clothing every day where possible. This reduces the chances of spreading COVID-19. We would also strongly recommend that staff and students do not travel by public transport. We would advocate students walking to school, we would advocate students biking to school, and we would advocate students coming in in a car, a lift from those that they live with. If you are going to be dropping your son or daughter into school, please drop them off outside of the school because the car park will be unavailable. So this doesn't necessarily need to be straight outside of school, of course. It can be dropped off in one of the neighbouring roads. We've got two main entrances for students to walk through, and we'll talk about those in a minute. But if students are going to be coming on bike, and of course it's an incredibly healthy way of coming into school, then this is the way that we will be going through. So as you can see, labelled very clearly, this is a bike entrance only, and that students are to queue in the marked boxes. As you would expect, we will have staff carrying out duties at various different duty points across the school. As you can see, the boxes are very clearly marked out, and students are expected to stay in the boxes if there is a queue. As we get up to the top of the hill, we would ask students to wait here and for them to listen very carefully to the member of staff who will then allocate a spot for them to go through and drop off their bike. And as you can see, the students will be coming through this way, dropping off their bike, coming back, and as they come back, the member of staff will sanitize their hands. And this will be a key theme throughout the school. While staff will be encouraging students to wash their hands at regular intervals, to use the hand sanitizers available at regular intervals, we do need to teach our youngsters to take responsibility to do that themselves, both in school and of course at home and the wider community. So once students have sanitized their hands after dropping off their bikes, they'll come this way through to the next staff duty point. As you can see, the entrance into the school in the school, as in the turning circle, are all marked with socially distanced markers, which are 2 meters apart. So we ask those students that are coming in by bike to come this way, to separate out and to wait here until they are told where to go next. For those students that have been with us for the last 10 weeks, those students of key workers, we would ask you to come in through the staff car park, and we would ask you to come up the stairs, which, as you can see, are socially distanced. Being careful that there are no bicycles coming this way, and continue down all the way down to main reception, and your entrance would be the main school entrance. Regardless of your mode of transport, that is the way that your child is going to be travelling into school, we would expect them to be on time. That is as per the schedule in the detailed letter that we are sending alongside this virtual tour. If students arrive 15 minutes late, sadly we'll be unable to let them into school, and we will make contact with you to send them home. I'm sure you will appreciate that with everything that we're doing, it's safety first. We're currently stood at the green and the blue entrance. The green students will be coming in the morning, as you know, and the blue students will be coming in the afternoon. If we walk through the entrance, you will see again the socially distanced markers that are available throughout the school, and students are expected to abide by these 2 meter markers. As we walk through, if there are a number of students, we would expect them to be sensible and to wait at regular intervals, eventually coming to a stop at this point, where the duty member of staff will use the hand sanitizer and direct the students to the next point. So once blue and green have sanitized their hands, they'll come straight through this entrance here, turning left, and we'll continue down through the canopy. The students will then turn left, right is out of bounds. You'll see now very clearly marked signs for the blue and green groups. Throughout the school, we'll be very clear on routes that students could have used in the past that are now out of bounds, and these will be clearly signed either staff only or no entry. So as you can see, this is the entrance to the green zone, and if we come through, you'll again see the socially distanced markers. Areas that are cordoned off, where students are not allowed to go. Again, limited numbers of doors that have to remain closed because they are fire doors. This is an example of one of the rooms in the green zone. So I'd come in, I'd be allocated my seat, sit in my seat, I'll have a tray with my work, with my pencil case, with my laptop, my Chromebook. There will also be some additional stationery that we will have available. And this will be my desk, which will be numbered for the time that I am in school until the end of the academic year. So these same rules apply for the green zone as they do in the other zones. If I wanted to go to the toilet, I would let the teacher know. The teacher would let me know when it is safe to do so. I would then get up. And for students, you know where you are. You're in humanities, so I'd be going this way now through humanities towards the front of the school, towards the main student services entrance. Through the fire doors here, turning left, and we have, as you can see here, the green toilet, again, male, female and disabled toilets. For break time, teachers will dismiss students table by table. And when my table has been dismissed, this way, turning right to go out of the stairs that we came in from, staying on the left-hand side, socially through. And this will be the area where green zone will be for their break time. You'll be able to see that, again, socially distanced, two at a table. There'll be 2 members of staff on duty here as a minimum, and students are more than welcome to eat and drink food here. Again, there will be hand sanitizers available and also wipes to wipe down the areas as well. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as we come to the end of this virtual tour, I hope you'll agree that we have done as much as we reasonably can to mitigate the risk in school. I've already spoken about the information that we've received more locally, which talks about the rate of infections, and you have my absolute guarantee that I will keep you informed when I receive that information on a regular basis. With regards to this device that I've been carrying around with me on the virtual tour, this is a thermograph, and we will be taking the temperature of our community when they come into school. With regards to any sign of illness, should that be before school or after school, we must take a really robust view on this. So if your child is displaying any symptoms whatsoever, please do not send them in. If they show any signs in school, we will contact you straight away and ask you to come to pick your youngster up. And if the symptoms aren't too severe, then we'll be asking for your permission to send them home. In terms of laptops, we will have laptops available in every single zone. We'll have laptops available and prioritized for the option subjects. We are encouraging your child to bring in the device or devices that they have been working on at home. Please do encourage them to bring in their phone, bring in their laptop, their Chromebook, whatever the device might be. It will help them to transit the work from school and to home, but also it will give you peace of mind that you're able to contact them during break time, before school and after school as well. In terms of food and drink, we have to be very clear that we will not be serving any food and drink on site. Students are more than welcome to bring in a snack or a packed lunch, but they must also bring in a bottle of water. All of our water fountains have been taken off to discourage students from using them, and so where possible, students should be drinking from water that they brought in from outside of school. If a student does run out of water, we do have bottled water available, but of course that is really limited. So it really only leads me to say thank you for viewing this virtual tour. Please remember that this virtual tour is to be viewed together with the following documentation: my letter from last week, Mr. Creswell's PowerPoint, the letter from Mr. Gill that is going out today, the risk assessment, updated version 2 that will be sent out today, and also fifth and lastly, and as important as all of the other documentation, is the updated behaviour policy. Please take some time to read these documents in full, to share these with your children before they return. It goes without saying, we're really, really looking forward to seeing your children again. We will do so in the safest way possible. Thank you very much.